all Germanys in one video. Okay, the half Germany, it just gets scarier. Oh, that's the Germany that we do not discuss. I'm just trying to think, are there any Germanys we're missing? We definitely got the bad ones. Technically, you know, you can't say Prussia is Germany, so I get why you didn't choose them. They were the origin story to the German arc, but they weren't technically Germany. I love how the music really matched for this. Like, it really perfectly, like, obviously World War I Germany, it's a little bit scarier, and then obviously we get the absolute scariest form of Germany. Glad that even the year is right too. This is when they had the most territory. Germany 2024, yo, want some beers? Germany 1942, war. 1817, nah, 1917. Oh, I guess not all the years are right. I didn't even see that. 1949, East Germany looks so adorable. I guess. Love that West Germany here has the sunglasses though, like a throwback to the USA with their sunglasses. Started with the normal song, 1942, the death whistle. The emojis just keep getting worse. King animations, that was beautiful. Now how about all Soviets in one video? Wait. It's going too fast. Okay, 1918, when the Russian Empire, oh, I see, okay, we'll break the video down. I'm gonna just play it all the way through. Germany, World War II,
Ostdeutschland,
Cold War, and then, yes. Oh, that's the most terrifying of them all. Oh my god! It's so crazy the impact the Soviet Union made on all of human history, but even I forget, like, oh, they didn't even last for 100 years. They didn't even last, like, 75 years. Only existing from 1922 to 1991. I guess that's kind of like a lot of empires from history. Some of the ones that have left the biggest impact only existed for just a little bit of time. I mean, I guess we just talked about them. World War II, Germany didn't even last 15 years, and yet they certainly left a pretty big impact. You know, actually, all things considered, the Soviet Union lasted kinda long in a modern sense. So we start the video off in 1918, so that is World War I. This is Imperial Germany shooting back Russia because obviously they were forced to, you know, peace out of World War I. And then this is the Soviet Revolution or the Russian Revolution. That's the Tsar about to get his whole family oofed. Next up we have 1941, so this is World War II, but then they get shot back. This is the flag of an occupied Germany because remember, obviously they were punished heavily after World War II. Not everyone, but a lot of people got a small piece of the pie. Love that France is represented with like a bunch of bandages because they had to be revived. 1949 is obviously the start of the Cold War. We have the USA on one side and the USSR on the other with their little mini pet Germanys. Why did Germany go Imperial mode? 1991 is obviously the collapse of what was that first place? Oh, this is the Warsaw Pact. The Warsaw Pact exploding, and they didn't want to be communists anymore. And then the preceding USSR states that began to gain their freedom, like Belarus and Ukraine and the Baltic states. Finally, as we all know, Kazakhstan was the final member of the USSR. They lasted for like 3 days. This was technically, officially, the only USSR member. And they did have nukes, yes, for a second there. But not quite as terrifying. I like the record scratch. Like, no, this is not actually that scary, but kind of funny. Definitely the USA and Russia were like, calm down, little bro. Bro, how did East Germany jump scare Western Germany? East Germany is turned into Diddy in a second. These videos are really good. I love how you can really tell the difference between someone that knows their history and doesn't. This channel certainly knows it. How about all Polands in one video? We have the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. I want to know, I'm going to watch the video, but how are we going to end this off? Yeah, that's what I figured. You have so many choices to choose from with Poland because they've been wiped off the face of the map so often. You can use that death whistle for many different times in their history. So obviously they started off in 2024 with, of course, the classic plunger that often is seen beside the Poland ball himself. Then we have the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, the Winged Hussars. 1939, this is right before things get really bad. Yeah, they're surrounded on both sides. The Germans have us already. So the way he did this is just right after. This is September 1st was when the war was declared. This is by October 1st, basically. Poland was all gone. I feel like there were some other Polish stories we could have told. I was personally hoping we were going to get into the partition of Poland as they slowly got smaller and smaller up until the 1800s, yeah. Or I think a throwback to communist Poland when they were under the boot of the Soviet Union. The history of Indonesia. Oh, that's right. That's crazy that he remembered to do the right. In the Poland ball universe, Poland has got to be flipped upside down. Don't ask me why, it just is. I like how nobody in the comments know the country ball rules. We have to literally teach the entire world this stuff. The biggest question is where the AK-57 came from in 1939. Yeah, that would be like almost 10 years too early. You don't need to hide Germany. It's literally history. That's not how it works, buddy. I like that he hides Germany because that would be a problem if he didn't. The YouTube algorithm be like, all France is in one video. Obviously, we start in 2024. We have Napoleonic France, which is a pretty good time. Interesting that we're not going to end on... Oh. Okay, yes. I would have used that third spot, the third spot with the third music. This definitely needed to be World War I France, I think. Because it was a dark time, but at least they didn't get destroyed. Rather than using 1940 and 1940 twice. But yeah, it was going to be pretty terrifying. Good use of the death whistle. Meanwhile, Ireland's just happy with their potatoes. All France in one video proceeds to show like 1/10 of the France versions. To be fair, he only has 9 seconds. The audio is only 9 seconds long. But yeah, there's a lot of Frances we can talk about. There's like the 100 Years' War France, there's West Francia. France has had a lot of different versions of itself. Frances, you missed 1780 France, 1605 France, 840 AD France. There's also like the Revolutionary France that could have been pretty dark. I think choosing World War II for the last part is probably the best, but yeah, the French Revolution, insane time. You could have put that too. All Switzerland's in one video. How are we supposed to do all Switzerland? Oh, nice, nice. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Revolutionary France again, or Napoleonic France. When it comes to the last like 200 years, it has been just mostly chilling. It is literally them just chilling. But then you can go back to 1798 and yeah, France was bullying them a bit. For Switzerland, France is probably their no-no Germany. I mean, dang, the Swiss were just getting all that no-no German gold. They probably, you know what, I'm not gonna finish that statement. Only Napoleon knew how to invade Switzerland. So the French invasion of Switzerland started at May 1798. Sometimes no matter how hard you try to be neutral, somebody else doesn't let you be that. It's the safety zone up until someone decides they're not going to be the safety zone anymore. That's a very unique take on Switzerland's history. I feel like that's often not talked about. The rise of the Japanese Empire, so obviously them coming out of isolationism, them wanting to be more like the Europeans, them becoming super evil mode and really being a menace on all of their... Alright, wasn't expecting that last part. Glad to see that included. So yes, things definitely changed sometime in the 1800s for the Japanese. They effectively began their path to forming the empire in 1868. That is when they rapidly began modernizing. So they first got Korea, they got a couple islands, they got Taiwan too. People forget that this massive empire was really a slow burn. Obviously, they did take a bunch of territory during World War II, but they took these islands back in the 1800s. They got to Korea in 1905. I like the throw to the Russo-Japanese War when they were going to fight Russia and win. Like I said, a very slow burn. Bam, take that. Boom, become the, well, that was when they were leveling up, I guess. They were taking things from China before 1939, but this was the big time, and then this is when they were massive, from Indochina to Indonesia to the Philippines, forcing Thailand to be their ally, and then luckily the explosions. And that's how Godzilla was born. The end was personal. Japan's getting very strong. USA, let them cook. You didn't include that in the 1890s, Japan also took modern-day Taiwan. Yeah, we were just learning about how Montenegro did declare war on Japan, then they forgot about it for like 100 years. Australia holding off the Japanese. Mega Chad move. The fall of the Ottoman Empire. This is going to span several centuries. So obviously they were really big around this time. Then at this point, they were pretty much donezo. And yes, but they were going to come back. Are we going to see it? Nice. 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 Oh, the shift at the end. Very important to include that part. This is why Turkey still exists in the way we know them today, because they were very close to becoming Polandized. So they got big. They obviously caused a lot of the European exploration, you know, causing them to find the New World. Certainly by 1898, the Ottomans were basically done. Somewhat of a threat, but not really. Europeans weren't taking them seriously. Italy comes. They take Libya. 1918, they lose World War I. A bunch of places get their independence. Oh, that's right. The Balkans too. During the Balkan Wars, they were pretty much surrounded on all sides, forced to give up things. There was a moment, like I said, where the Greeks were going to take stuff, the Italians, obviously the British and the French. But yeah, Otto-Turk moment there. Did he say Among Us? Among Us! Fall of the Ottomans, I don't think so. It's actually a Turkey jump scare. 1590, whoa! 1628, 1898, 1918, 1920, Skull, but no, they became Chad. 1938 was chosen specifically because that is Otto-Turk's death. He's basically the reason why Turkey doesn't look like this right now. The Western Front in World War I. Or is it, wait, is this World War I? That's an Imperial Germany, so it should be the Western Front. I think this is World War I. So they built the... I mean, this is giving me imaginal. I like the Dutch eyes. That's nice. Yeah, it's definitely World War I. I can see the big Austria just barely in the corner. And obviously he's been following the country ball rules. Germany looks like this, the rectangle in World War I. And then obviously he goes through Belgium, the speed bump of Europe, and this is pretty much where the front stops. That is when the Entente decided, yo, we should stop this guy, which they did in World War I, not in World War II. Netherlands in World War I, they was just chilling, but in World War II, they were dead. France builds wall, Germany goes around wall. France, wait, that wasn't fair. And then they proceeded to do it again in World War II. You would think they would have learned. What is Belgium? Germany, territory to attack France. Puts in both world wars, I'ma just go back home. The way the UK had a panic attack. Yeah, their face certainly shows that they weren't fully prepared for that. US and Russian relations, 1776, we actually were cool back in those days. It wasn't up until, I mean, honestly, it wasn't until like 75 years ago. I guess I should watch the rest of the video though. I mean, we obviously exchanged Alaska. We were helping the Soviets during World War II. And then this is when things kind of got bad. And sadly, even to this day, obviously the US and Russia do not have the greatest relationship, even far after the Cold War has ended. But everyone forgets that back in these days, like, we was cool. The Russians were trying their best in the 1800s to stop the Western Europeans and the Ottomans. They obviously, yeah, struggled here, but the USA was cool. I mean, it's because they both had a mutual enemy. The British were like, that was everyone's like, screw that guy, dude. And then they sold us Alaska. We were obviously helping them a lot. We did not want them to lose to the no-no Germans. And then, yeah, things just really changed after World War II. I mean, for obvious reasons, there's lots of reasons why. And then we started fighting all around the world. Vietnam, in Korea. There's more proxy wars than just that, too. A couple errors with the years, but I'm not really paying attention. We missed their relationship. I mean, it's possible. I don't know, actually, if it's possible that it gets fixed. I feel like we're kind of destined now. We're kind of doomed now to be enemies for a very long time. Unless, like, things change drastically in their government. Or if we have a newer enemy to both fight, that always pulls countries together. Like, for example, if China starts taking over the world and they just happen to really make Russia mad too, maybe then I could see a scenario where the US and Russia start kind of working together again. Russia and USA borders, so we have 8,000 kilometers. 8,000 what? Oh, from this side, it looks like the USA and Russia are 8,000 kilometers away. I'm assuming that's kind of what this is saying, basically. Okay, I love this short because everyone forgets this. If this is trying to say what I think it's trying to say. The US and Russia have been right next to each other the whole time. They pretend like they're not. They've been pretending like they haven't this whole time. For like 75 years, the battleground has been for Europe, even though if they wanted to, they could start fighting right now. The issue is that the US doesn't have very many people or defenses in Alaska, and neither does Russia in this part of Russia, Siberia. I literally always think of this video of these two dogs barking at each other. This is the Cold War. Like, in reality, this is, and maybe it's a good thing because they both had nuclear arms, but as soon as they got the chance to fight each other, they wouldn't do it. As soon as they didn't think they'd fight each other, this is exactly how they'd act. Russia and the USA looking all big mad. Meanwhile, once they realized they're only 4 kilometers away from each other, never mind. We're friends now. Proof that Earth is round. It's not even actually 4 kilometers. Apparently, it's only 3.8 kilometers. There's a point where you can see Russia from US territory. America, I hate that guy. Russia, I'm behind you. America, he's behind me, isn't he? That's what happens when literally every single flat map projection shows the US and Russia on two completely different sides. However, things really change once you start looking at other map projections, since, you know, we live on a globe and all. Awesome shorts, King Animations, I liked it. As always, big ol' thanks to the patrons. Drew's Argentinian Trust Fund, RIP Grandpa. I will force Drew to eat Spanish food unless he remembers Imperial and modern Japan have the same flag. Alexander the Terrible. Connor Pavlik. DOOCHBAGGINS. Fredrik Tibblin. KingBearHaze. LuxembourgLover. NordTyrol. Big Lou the Goat. Tambre. Check that link down below if you want your name here.